attempt number 2, squad building, quicker video. So, tanks in order of effectiveness. If you're taking a tank, make sure you've got will to survive, and then just pick tanking perks. And you want to make sure that your early 3 perks are as good as they can possibly be, so always take will to survive, always take tenacious defense when you get the option to. And from there, just try and pick stuff that complements it. This is really strong now, so for infantry, I'd probably just do that. But yeah, if you're taking a tank, make sure you've got will to survive. The easy tanking options. Assault also gets the 2 best perks early, and CCS is okay, range is okay. Medic is the weakest tank because it only gets 1 tanking perk, which is will to survive, and after that, extra condition's good, but it's not a tanking perk. And this line's trash for tanks. This is super strong, but you don't really want your tank getting hit for 4 damage because they're going to get shot a lot. So the idea is to take 1 or 2 damage lots of times. So not too great. This could kind of do within, I don't know how you'd fix it, to be honest. Do like cumulative damage or something. If it takes like 4 damage in a turn, it heals 1 back. Could probably help fix medic tanks. Again, just all trash and all trash for tanking, but you need a medic every squad, so you still consider taking them. But those are your options for medic. Gunner gets all the tank perks. You get will to survive. You get grit. Do what you want here. This makes things a bit awkward because these are incredibly strong, and you don't want to skip either of them. It would be great if, like, kitted could swap with double tap maybe. Since double tap's completely worthless. But either way, good tanking specs. Don't ever take a gunner tank because you can't suppress, or well, you can suppress, but if you get hit, suppression's cancelled, and the thing that you're suppressing, you want it to stay suppressed, otherwise you wouldn't be suppressing it. So, in terms of power, this is your order: best tank, second best, third, fourth. But I'd probably use early game medics and late game infantry. But yeah, that's your option. Make sure you've got a tank in every squad. Support, you've got, let's do power order again. I'm actually going to change this from from the last time. A bit of a change of mind. So support, always take smoke and mirrors for action economy, and again just look at what your first 3 perks are whenever you're putting a squad together and figuring out what class to take. They get the earliest access to Tinker. Tinker's incredibly strong. Right throughout the game, it's just insane. And then you can either go impact or disabling, both of which are very, very strong. You either cancel Overwatch or just shut the enemy down completely. It's tricky to land this without steadying, but because you support, you can, throw a smoke grenade on yourself, steady, and then next turn disable shot. So it's really good, but also impact cancels Overwatch. So again, you can flashbang. I don't know. I mean, flashbang does as well. You can smoke yourself and shoot and cancel Overwatch. Super, super strong. Really, there's no bad perks on scouts. It's what makes them so good. Like right down the tree, every single perk is good. There literally isn't a bad one on here. So really strong support. Rockets, probably best early support. You get smoke and mirrors. You get Packmaster for free grenades, and you get Tinker. So the first 3 that you get are just incredibly strong perks, and you get a rocket, which is brilliant early game, especially now Red Fog's buffed. So again, just super strong early. And still pretty good late. Like, you don't get any support perks down here, but EC is good, and these are good perks, and that's a good perk. So good strong early class. probably, I mean, this is the best early game support, but you've got so many other options, whereas the other options for Rocket aren't as good. So use this early. Engineer, same again, Smoke and Mirrors. Probably the best late game. This in combination with TK Fields, incredible. Still good early, but Hollow's a bit poo early on. Especially once you get laser, this is okay, but not great. Still really good. Get Packmaster. Mechanic's good late for your mech healing. And then Medics, once again, just weak. Bad options throughout the tree. You don't get Packmaster till Master Sergeant. This row's pretty worthless. I mean, this isn't. It's okay, but you know, if you're positioning correctly, you don't really need to worry about Overwatch. Smoke's only last one turn, so this is like a lot weaker now. And this isn't a great set of options, probably Impact or something. But anyway, those are your options. But once again, you have to have a medic in every squad, so take them one way or the other. Early, I would go Rocket. Late, I'd go Rocket and Engineer. But Scouts are very strong as well. That's those options. Overwatch. These are your Overwatch options. Strongest Overwatch, best 3 perks. Obviously take Sentinel if you're taking something that's Overwatch. And yeah, this means you can just continue shooting every turn, and this is just really strong now. So definitely the strongest Overwatcher and strongest early Overwatcher as well. Get drone surgery early, and then these instantly come online for one-shotting stuff. You get flush as well, which is great in combo with this. If you take the Gene mod, then even better. So yeah, again, take Sentinel, CST, ready for anything, just a good combo. This just allows you to reload and keep shooting each turn. If you do run this early, don't use the gun or weapon until you get to lasers. Just use a laser rifle and an ammo mag, and he's absolutely fine. Good for killing mechs, good early. Once again, good medics. You need one on every squad, so find a way to bring them in, but they're not great. As always, take Sentinel if you go in Overwatch. None of these options are particularly good. I'd take Impact just for cancelling Overwatch and for the free damage. And then take RFA. They're okay. They were better when this was up here, although still caused options, cost it stops you overwatching every turn. This at least allows you to keep overwatching. They're not the worst, they're not the best, they're just like okay basically. At least on the Overwatch spec you generally got synergistic options, this, bring them on into sharpshooter. Might as well promote you while we're here. Not too bad. Definitely the best too early, especially in combination. Good for bio killing, good for mech killing. But yeah, those are your options. And then we've got we've still got the engineer. Don't know where he is. Whack another engineer in. Sniper, scout, engineer, gunner. That covers all that. The later you get, the better these get. Late game, you want one on every mission, just for disabling shot. The instant this comes online, always have a sniper. You can get flying armor late, which is super strong. Best aim growth. Obviously, don't expect like these sort of starts. This is pre-temple. We're about to do temple, but early, all good options. Like, there's not much difference between these anymore. They're all about equal. I prefer in the zone, but nothing much in it. Again, all good options. Incredible early game, incredible late game, and this cancels Overwatch and could potentially be better than both right throughout. This is really the only bad tier. These are all pretty shit. This is good for helping to land disabling shot, because this now only maims bios depending on the HP. So you can wait till they get below 50, and then this will help it hit, and then cross your fingers that it actually maims them. Otherwise, ranges is a nice bit of free damage and movement earlier, because you tend to use your low movement people as snipers and the high movement as scouts. There is a kind of Overwatchy spec if you want. You can go Mayhem and Opportunist. Impact is something, but I wouldn't bother. Probably one of these two. And then don't ever skip Disabling Shot until it gets removed from the game. This is an auto pick, no matter what the minus damage or whatever is, as long as it stops something from, essentially make you swap your turn for an ace turn. It's always incredible. And then do what you want at the end. But yeah, not the best class early, although arguably with Impact that could change now because they can cancel Overwatch from a distance, but definitely someone you want in your squad late. Scout, best early class in my opinion. Tech Bullseye, Snapshot, either Impact or Disable, and you've got an incredible early game. You've also got Hit and Run if you position properly. Just keep them out of line of sight on your turn, move them into something that's shot, disoriented or suppressed. Free damage. And you can go Ranger, VPT, or even Impact and use them to cancel Overwatch. So both really good options. I would still go Bullseye early, just because it helps to shoot flyers that are difficult to hit, get some damage on them. And it also avoids Overwatch and gets access to either Impact or Disable. Although I did say always take Disabling Shot, this is very strong early. Maybe swap into this later, because this will give you great options for cancelling Overwatch. But yeah, that's your scout options. You have to have a scout every mission anyway, so bring one whatever you do. Engineers, you've got your double tap, Hollow, and CST, which are three good options. Supposed to be the mech killer, ruined by low aim. So this is like a Master Sergeant. Yeah, this is a Master Sergeant Temple with buff stats, and it's still only got 82 aim, and you mainly want it to be hitting flyers, so discs, drones, seekers, what you want to hit. It's going to struggle to do that. But it is three strong perks. Shooting the same thing twice now means that you'll get hollowed, which is good. CST is obviously crazy strong. And the good light, because Master Mechanic, kind of run out of stuff a little bit down here. Lock and load's decent enough, keeps you shooting each turn. And EC's decent for free actions, but they're okay. I'd probably consider bringing one early, just because to get the early access to Hollow. And what you can do is just go, laser carbine once you get it. Until you do, just go assault carbine. Drum mags, that'll keep you shooting and give you access to flush for the 25 aim shot, to get your Hollow up. So decent option early. And then Gunner, I would bring one of these in every squad as soon as they get to Hollow. You want one in every single squad that you run. Prior to that, I'd probably take them in every 8-man. I might even consider taking 2 in every 8-man later on, but definitely want at least one once you get access to Hollow. You just go straight down here. Doesn't really matter because you don't shoot much. Even late game, the aim's pretty shit. So do what you want by the time. Well, I mean, I don't know how likely you are even to get to Master Sergeant, but definitely the ability to shred and hollow multiple enemies at the start of the turn is incredible. It's just super strong. Early game, if you want to do a bit of a hacks, because you need to use the LMG. If you do tack vest and ceramic plating, you still get 5 armor. It doesn't impact your movement as much from this. So yeah, that's your option with a gunner. Very strong, especially when Hollow comes online. Possibly skippable early game, pre-Hollow, but you definitely want some. You really want them when Seekers come on. So yeah, there we go. Those are your sort of other shooty options. And then for grenades, you've got this. What's the NGs? If you're going grenades, take Grenadier, Action Economy. This basically just ends up being super versatile. So you go Grenadier, Mayhem, Kitted, and Snapshot when you get here means you just get insane options, especially when you psi them up, which you can easily do. Shoot twice, grenade twice, shoot and psi, grenade and psi, heal, throw smoke, get Packmaster all the way down here, but like at Master Sergeant, it's actually an insane soldier. Just the amount of options that you get each turn makes these a really strong choice for grenades, and early you get Mayhem, which is +1 to AP grenades, which is very nice. So really good early, really good mid, really good late, just like insanely strong soldier. Assault gets early access to frag, which is great. Rangers are just +1 damage, which again is great, like similar to what Mayhem does, just sticks +1 on your APs, more shred, more damage, really nice. And you still get some pretty good stuff if you keep them late, like Heat Warheads is nice. Double chance to disorient, fantastic. And then I guess just do whatever you want at the end. But very strong early, just for Grenadier and frag. Those frag procs will mean your HEs will one-shot a lot of stuff when it procs. The downside is it means you can't go run and gun, which I don't think we've covered yet, but we'll do that in a sec. So yeah, second grenade option, and then same again. Take Grenadier, take Danger Zone, and take Ranger for +1 damage, and the +1 damage applies to rockets as well. Danger Zone rockets are just an incredible thing, especially for cancelling Overwatch. You get 2 of them from here. Definitely take Heat Warheads. These are good, but this is superior choice. Now you get double disorient chance with Danger Zone as well. It's just an incredibly strong combo. The downside is you don't get any free damage, so your grenades aren't doing as much until you get to here, but they're hitting more enemies. So this is a strong kind of almost support Grenadier. Basically, you can take one of these, and if you keep them out of line of sight, you can either fire a rocket in, or just move them in and throw a grenade and cancel most of the Overwatch. So it's definitely a strong option. The downside is they're also a strong support option. But yeah, good whatever you do with them. And then Engineer, same again. Gets a bit weird because you get either guaranteed damage or chance of extra damage. Tandem's good early, just again free damage. Means you can sort of target, throw your grenade wherever you want and still hit 100%. Sapper's shit now, so don't take it. And then Danger Zone's good when you get to the end, so these are good as well. Like, you actually can't go too far wrong. When you're choosing a Grenadier, you just need to figure out what your other options. Infantry's probably the best, just because you've got, although all the specs are strong, the other specs aren't so much stronger. Whereas this, you kind of want to go run and gun. You want to go support, I think, on your Rocketeers, and then these are your best early access to Hollow. But as long as there's no downside to any of these. Grenade specs all equally strong, just in different ways. So use whatever works for the squad. And then last thing to quickly cover is run and gun, which I've got a lot of. They're not as strong as they were, but they're still super strong. You get 35% damage on a high base damage weapon. You can one-shot most of the early game. This is now 200%, so your first 3 perks, this lot guarantees that any early game enemy, I think up until discs turn up, is one-shot. This is also quite strong, but this is a good combo. So that's your options. In terms of actually building the squad, you always want a tank. At the moment I'm planning to do something like this. So you've got to make sure you've got a tank, you've got to make sure you've got a support, you need access to hollow, you ideally want suppression, and you want a way to cancel Overwatch. So this is probably going to be roughly my base 5 for every squad, and I'm just going to build off this. So this will be my tank and provider of medkits, so that covers that. This will be my support with the option to cancel Overwatch once a mission from the rocket. This will be my hollow. This will be my suppression. Once this gets to hollow, you can drop the engineer and bring something else in, but early they're just here for suppression. If you want to, you can drop this early until they get hollow. Like there is a, well, not worry about it, but anyway, you can. These two are droppable. This one early, this one late. Kind of interchangeable once they both get hollow. And then this to cancel Overwatch and shoot hard to hit enemies. And so that's what I'll be building my squad on, but that's what you need for every squad, is one of those things. Make sure you've got a tank, make sure you've got a support, make sure you've got hollow, Overwatch, suppression and tinker, which this squad has. And then from there you can just build on top of it. Or you can add in some grenades, you can add in a sniper for some long range damage, assault for close range damage. You've got options, but what I would suggest is try and figure out what your base squad's going to be for every mission that covers the main things that you need, and then just build on top of that. So this is hopefully a shorter video.